Hey, welcome back, BFDers.
Oh!
There's a
It's
second
two
guy here.
BFDers, and it's for a movie review. Who'd have thought? And what's crazy is you think that we would have done it for Dune 2, but instead we did it for
Kung Fu Panda 4. Oh man, I had a killer line for the opening. Now I can't remember. And that's the longest pause that you'll ever find while watching Kung Fu Panda 4.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You know, from the get-go, when the trailers were announced, I just was not... I didn't think it was going to be much. Except the one scene where they're going and he goes... He goes... That was great.
Yeah.
But that was about it.
Like Jake was talking about earlier, there wasn't really a whole lot of marketing for this one, so if we didn't have this channel, we probably both would have forgotten that the movie came out.
We had tickets, and I forgot.
Yeah, so that's not a great start. But we went into the movie, no reviews beforehand that were watched, but we had... Jake saw Jeremy John's thumbnail in which he looked not upset. So Jake thought that this might be a good movie, and I was like, oh, that might be a good sign. The first two are phenomenal films. The third one is okay.
It's good. It's good.
It's okay. Like, it's fine.
Drop a comment down below if you like the third movie.
And so we were going in thinking, hey, maybe this is the restoration of the Kung Fu Panda.
Because it's same thing with like Puss in Boots 2. I really did not think it was going to be anything. They already made the movie. We're in this world of legacy sequels. It's like, oh, it's just a cash cow. And Puss in Boots 2, I mean, was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kung Fu Panda 4 did not have any of that. It was more ADHD fueled than the Super Mario Bros. Movie, if you believe it.
Yeah, we thought Super Mario Bros. Was the Tik-Tok movie of 2023. It might be Kung Fu Panda 4 for this year. I mean, we're only in March, but still. This movie is anti-pacing.
There is hyper-pacing.
Yeah, well, there is no pacing. It's just a sprint from literally like the opening scene, more or less, to the end. There was like possibly 2 scenes in the whole film in which the characters were allowed to breathe and my brain was able to relax.
But then again, like those only lasted
20 seconds, 30 seconds max.
Maybe. And that's really what the whole movie is. It's just, again, like we said it in the Mario movie, it is just a compilation, an anthology of different, basically different setup and punchlines.
Yeah.
For different things. And that's it.
And that's, comedy's a bit subjective, but the comedy didn't really hit. Like, the setup punchlines didn't really work for me. The guy behind us, this movie was made for him.
Hey, well, I don't know. They liked it.
Dude.
There was one kid in the theater, I don't think the kid laughed at all. So all you people out there saying, you guys are so critical of kids movies. Number one, go watch my video on kids animation. They deserve the best media that we have to offer. But number two, hey, they didn't find it fun either, so shut up.
Oh, and before anybody comments, yes, I am wearing a shirt with a Casual Pint logo. This does not mean that I hate every other restaurant. It just means that I'm wearing a shirt.
There's not really a whole lot to say, I feel, because this movie was mid.
Now, to be fair, we saw it later, right? We went at about 8 p.m. It's late for me.
It's prime time movie watching.
Yeah, well,
that's the prime time. Movie watching.
It might have been that, but dude, man, I just was completely unresponsive to this movie. the gif of Homelander when he's watching the movie or whatever,
yeah,
and he's just sitting there like, that's how I was the entire film.
There were a couple of jokes which I think were funny. One of them was the fart again, and like we're stupid. We find silly things funny, okay? But man, some of the most emotional scenes. Number one, there's like no setup at all.
Yeah.
They present an idea. They say, literally, this is how it went. He goes, your goal in this movie is to be okay with change. And then the end of the movie, he goes, I'm okay with change. And nothing throughout any of that has to do with change. They say it a couple times. Exactly the same thing that happens in Avatar live action. Aang goes, I know I need to be a good Avatar, but I don't know how to do it. And then he never learns. And in Kung Fu Panda 4, he goes, I need to change. He doesn't change. And then he goes, I've changed.
I don't know. Again, it's just like and that's the problem with modern audiences. Everybody just wants things explained to them because everybody nobody feels anything. Everybody just wants an analytical, understanding, which doesn't work for stories. But that's a whole nother topic for another day.
Which is why Dune 2 is good.
Yes,
check
very
out
good.
our review on that one. Jack Black does a good job, I think, with what he's been given. I think he's a great voice actor. I think it's perfect casting for Poe. Has been. Nobody else really does a good job, though.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I think everybody sounded bored with what they were given.
Yeah, Dustin Hoffman did Also, none of the characters felt like their characters.
Oh, dude, I'm so glad you said that, man, because like the whole film, I was like, these are not who they were, even in the third movie,
like
let alone even the first movie.
Shifu, man, who was this guy? And then Poe. I mean, the trilogy wrapped up his arc for the most part. I think you can wean out some more stuff. I think there is more stuff to explore with his character, but it has to come from a different place than we've already been. And like the second movie, he had accomplished inner peace.
Yeah.
Like that was the end goal, is he understood what it meant to have peace, and that's why he could do the, and then he was like
skadoosh,
shaka blue. But in this one, we have a 20-second scene where he's like, inner peace. And by the way, the length that it is in the trailer is how long it is in the movie.
Yeah.
But he forgets that he knows inner peace.
Which is crazy because this movie is like, it's like, an hour 45?
It's like an hour 20.
Oh, really?
It's sub hour half.
Oh, dude. Yeah, they easily could have fit 10 minutes of just like padding scenes with like breath, like easily, and you wouldn't have lost anything at all.
Probably gained, actually.
Well, yes, you would have, because the audience can, rise and fall with, the story. Yeah, the other thing too, this film is lacking style that the specifically first two had. Some of my favorite parts of the Kung Fu Panda movies are their transitions. Best one is Tai Lung escaping from the prison and then his shadow cast over the Valley of Peace. And like a flash
like the lightning strike, kind of.
Yeah, like stuff like that. Which is like, you have a vision when you're making this film of it being something visually spectacular. And they don't really do that. There's a couple things here that are kind of neat, but again, by and large, this is just kind of like, oh, we need Kung Fu Panda 4 because money. And it's like, okay, well, you could make more money if you made a really cool movie that everybody was fucking talking about.
And that's what's so crazy. That's what's so crazy about it. I'm gonna go back to a second. There's a line in the movie that they keep throwing out. They're like, but you can be better than you already are. And hey, Kung Fu Panda 4, you could have been better than you were.
Yeah.
Just point that out.
The whole movie's about change, and you decided to change nothing.
Yeah. Oh, that's what's crazy. I remember now. Is like the Marvels and all of these properties and movies that are just flopping. And these executives, Bob Iger's like, I don't know why people are watching this. And it's like, because it sucks. And so, like, if they would have spent more time or, like, something, more focus on the script or something, just on making something better, because they can do it. We saw a trailer for a movie called Wild Robot.
Looks pretty good. Which
seems that it's going to have very little dialogue, which I'm very interested by. But it looks interesting. And we know DreamWorks can do it because they've done it. So where is it?
At the end of the day, this might not be a shocker to most people. Kung Fu Panda 4 came out of nowhere. Who asked for it? Who really needed it? At the end of the day, the answer remains the same. Nobody.
It did not change.
It did not change. And that is the greatest sin of dumplings that you don't eat.
Oh, here, I'm going to put this. This is my trash can. Well, not trash can. This is my cabinet of forgotten movies. I'm going to put Kung Fu... I'm going to put... This is my trash can of forgotten movies. I'm going to put this one, Ruby Gilman, in the cabinet. And right next to it, I'm going to put Kung Fu Panda 4. And then I'm going to close the doors. Also, Aquafina sucks. Sorry, guys. Her voice just... And also, when she yelled, she went, ah! And that's real. 4 out of 10.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I always forget to write these
too,
things.
Yeah.
And
then I go to the edit, and I watch the edit, and I'm like,
shit.
I didn't rate this.
Yeah.
4 out of 10 for me.
3 out of 10. I was bored. I was bored out of my mind, man.
You laughed a couple times. That's worth like
I
something.
don't know. That's because I'm with an audience.
You know how people watch like Lord of the Rings once a year or Star Wars once a year. When I rewatch Kung Fu Panda, this will not be on the rewatch.
I agree with that. Well, with that, another downer from the BFD channel. What a surprise!
Gotta love it.
Hey, go watch every video we've ever put out. And with that, I've been Kyle, and I still am.
I guess I'm Jake. I was last Thursday.
And hey, thank you for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. Off screen.